Okay, so here's my favorite bass fly. That's it's called the Stealth Bomber. This is a little foam diving fly. I originally tied this fly to mimic the action of the tarantula, which strangely enough was a Jackson Hole one fly contest winner a few years back. It's kind of a bullet-headed deer hair fly with a wing that would dive and leave a little bubble trail. Uh, it was very effective catching bass and brim, but after it caught a few fish, it got slimed and didn't want to float. So I wanted to tie that fly out of foam. Stop. With foam and tied well, it's pretty much indestructible and virtually unsinkable. So my first version was tied out of black foam with a black deer hair tail, and this was long about the time of the Gulf War, and in fact it did look like the Stealth Bomber with that delta wing. This one worked good, but we decided to make a few changes. Next one you're going to see here is tied in chartreuse. We've added some rubber legs. It gives it a little more action when it's just sitting still. And also put in a flash-a-boo wing. That's mainly for visibility from the angler's point of view. I don't think the fish cares. But if you're low to the water or the light's bad, that makes it a lot easier to see. Two things you can see here. One is the hump there in the foam behind the wing. That's really what traps the air, or what traps some of the air. The wing, of course, grabs some too. The other thing I get a lot of questions about are those legs, and in the tying video I'm going to talk about how we get that design on the legs. In the following segment we'll see the diving motion of this fly. On the strip it dives, creates a big bubble there above, and the interesting thing you'll notice that downward moving pressure wave. And I think this is really what turns the fish on, and probably what signals the fish from a distance. And by varying the space of the size of that wing and that bubble catcher, and also changing the size of the head, we can get different actions on the dive and how much it strips. An interesting side effect of this delta wing, however, is the way that it causes the fly to dart from side to side with a very erratic motion, which makes it look even more realistic. And that's usually when I see the hits is right there on the stop after it's zigged from one side to the other.